Something isn't right, is it? You feel it. Your energy isn't what it used to be. Your drive is lower, and deep down, you know something is off. But what if I told you that the real reason your performance is dropping isn't what you think? What if there were hidden factors silently working against you, draining your strength, your endurance, and your confidence? The scariest part? Most men never realize what's happening until it's too late. But today, we're breaking that cycle. We're uncovering the 5 critical reasons your body is betraying you, and more importantly, how to reverse it. Stick with me until the end, because the answers might shock you, but they could also change everything. And if you're serious about taking control of your health, make sure to subscribe right now. Let's dive in. Here's the thing. Most men assume that performance decline is just part of aging. It's not. It's not normal to feel sluggish, to struggle with focus, to lack stamina in ways you never did before. Sure, time plays a role, but what if I told you that your body was designed to function at peak levels for far longer than you've been led to believe? What if I told you that certain habits, foods, and overlooked health markers are actively sabotaging you? Let's start with a hidden culprit that's affecting millions of men, yet rarely discussed: testosterone decline. You probably know that testosterone plays a role in muscle growth and energy levels, but what most don't realize is that it also governs mood, motivation, and even cardiovascular health. The problem? Testosterone levels in men have been plummeting over the past few decades, and it's not just genetics. It's lifestyle, stress, sleep deprivation, exposure to endocrine disruptors, and poor diet are crushing your natural hormone balance. And here's the kicker. Even minor dips in testosterone can have massive effects. Studies have shown that just a small decrease in T levels can lead to increased fatigue, reduced libido, and even higher body fat percentages. The solution? It's not as complicated as you might think. Small, strategic changes, like optimizing your sleep, incorporating certain micronutrients, and cutting out specific hormone-disrupting chemicals, can reignite your natural production. But testosterone isn't the only factor at play. There's another, even more insidious issue wreaking havoc on your system: chronic inflammation. You might not feel it directly, but it's there, silently degrading your endurance, slowing your metabolism, and impairing circulation. And when circulation suffers, every part of your body does too. Ever wondered why some days you just don't have that same level of sharpness? Why recovery seems slower? Why fatigue creeps in out of nowhere? Chronic inflammation could be the reason. Processed foods, excessive sugar intake, and even certain cooking methods can skyrocket inflammation levels, leaving you sluggish and underpowered. But here's the good news. The moment you identify and eliminate inflammatory triggers, your body can start to repair itself. And this isn't just theory. Science backs it. The right foods, the right habits, and strategic supplementation can completely change the way your body processes energy and recovers. Now, let's talk about something most men overlook: micronutrient deficiencies. You've probably heard about macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs, but what about the smaller, yet equally crucial nutrients that fuel every cellular process in your body? Zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, these are the building blocks of testosterone production, nerve function, and muscle contraction. Without them, you're running on empty. And here's where it gets tricky. Even if you think you're eating a healthy diet, modern food sources are often depleted of these essential nutrients. Soil depletion, food processing, and poor absorption mean you could be eating the right foods but still missing out. And the result? Lower energy, weaker immune function, and yes, reduced performance across the board. The fix? Identifying and correcting these deficiencies can lead to rapid, noticeable improvements. Imagine waking up feeling genuinely refreshed, feeling stronger in the gym, sharper in conversations, and more resilient in all aspects of life. That's the power of micronutrient balance. But we're not stopping there, because there's a fourth factor at play, one that most men never even consider: stress-induced cortisol imbalance. Cortisol is the body's stress hormone, and in small amounts, it's beneficial. It helps you stay alert, burn fat, and react quickly in high-pressure situations. But when it's constantly elevated, thanks to relentless work stress, poor sleep, and overstimulation, it becomes one of the most destructive forces in your body. High cortisol levels don't just make you feel on edge, they actively lower testosterone, impair sleep quality, and increase fat storage, particularly around the midsection. And the worst part? Many of the habits we've normalized, late-night screen time, excessive caffeine, lack of downtime are driving cortisol through the roof. Learning how to regulate cortisol through strategic relaxation techniques, proper nutrition, and controlled physical activity can transform not just your energy levels, but your overall resilience. And that brings us to the final reason most men are underperforming without realizing it: poor sleep quality. Notice I didn't just say lack of sleep, because even if you're getting the recommended hours, the quality of that sleep determines everything. If you're waking up groggy, if you need multiple alarms, if you find yourself relying on stimulants just to function, then your sleep cycles aren't optimized. And here's the brutal truth: every single major process in your body relies on deep, restorative sleep. Your testosterone is replenished during the night, your muscles rebuild, your brain detoxifies. And yet, artificial light, poor pre-bed habits, and even certain foods can disrupt this delicate balance. But the good news: the moment you learn to optimize your sleep cycles, everything starts to shift. Your energy stabilizes, your metabolism improves, and yes, your performance skyrockets. So now you know, if your performance is slipping, if you're feeling off but can't quite figure out why, it's not just in your head. Your body is sending signals, and the sooner you listen, the sooner you can reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your edge. But this is just the beginning. Now that you understand the causes, you need the solutions. So keep watching, because we're about to dive into exactly how to reverse these problems, step by step. Now that we've uncovered the 5 biggest reasons your performance is slipping, it's time to talk solutions. And here's the best part: you don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Small, strategic changes, backed by science, can make a massive difference. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. How would it feel to wake up every morning with more energy, more focus, and more confidence, knowing that your body is working for you instead of against you? Because that's exactly what's possible when you start applying what you're about to learn. Let's start with testosterone. You already know how crucial this hormone is, but how do you naturally boost it? The first step: fix your sleep. Studies show that just 1 week of poor sleep can drop testosterone levels by up to 15%. That's huge. And if you're consistently getting less than 6 hours, you could be operating with levels equivalent to someone 10 years older. So what's the fix? First, get off your phone at least an hour before bed. The blue light from screens tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, suppressing melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep. Second, keep your bedroom cool. Around 65°F is optimal. And finally, get sunlight in the morning. Exposing your eyes to natural light early in the day helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night. But sleep is just one piece of the puzzle. Your diet plays a massive role too. If you're serious about raising testosterone, you need to be eating the right fats. Cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone, meaning if you're skimping on healthy fats, you're literally starving your body of the raw materials it needs. Foods like whole eggs, grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, and even dark chocolate can all support healthy testosterone production. And then there's zinc and magnesium, 2 powerhouse minerals that are essential for hormone balance. Oysters, pumpkin seeds, and leafy greens should be regular staples in your diet. Next, let's tackle chronic inflammation, one of the biggest silent killers of performance. The key here: cut the processed junk. Seed oils, excess sugar, and artificial additives are fueling low-grade inflammation in your body, and you might not even realize it. Instead, focus on whole, anti-inflammatory foods. Turmeric, ginger, berries, and high-quality olive oil all have powerful anti-inflammatory properties. And here's a game-changer most people overlook: cold exposure. Something as simple as a 30-second cold shower at the end of your normal shower can trigger an anti-inflammatory response, improving circulation and reducing muscle soreness. Speaking of circulation, let's talk about something that affects more men than you'd expect: poor blood flow. If you've ever noticed a lack of stamina, slower recovery, or even lower drive, your circulation might not be where it should be. One of the best natural ways to improve blood flow? Beetroot. It's packed with nitrates, which help dilate blood vessels, increasing oxygen and nutrient delivery throughout the body. Another overlooked trick? Strength training. Lifting heavy weights, especially compound movements like squats and deadlifts, not only boosts testosterone, but also strengthens your cardiovascular system, keeping your blood vessels flexible and efficient. Now, let's deal with stress and cortisol. We already know chronic stress destroys testosterone and wrecks performance. But what can you do about it? The first step, control your mornings. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything else. If the first thing you do is check your phone, dive into emails, or get hit with negative news, you're instantly spiking cortisol. Instead, create a morning routine that puts you in control. A few minutes of stretching, deep breathing, or even just stepping outside for fresh air can completely shift your stress response. And here's something powerful: controlled breathing. Try this. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Doing this for just a few minutes can lower cortisol and reset your nervous system. But what if you're already dealing with high cortisol levels? Adaptogens might be your answer. These are natural substances that help your body adapt to stress. Ashwagandha, for example, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels by up to 30%. Rhodiola and holy basil are other great options. And one of the simplest ways to combat stress? Walking. A 10-15-minute walk, especially after meals, helps regulate blood sugar, improve digestion, and lower cortisol all at once. Finally, we need to fix your sleep quality. You already know the basics: reduce blue light and keep your room cool. But let's go deeper. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. for no reason? That could be a blood sugar crash. If your last meal was too high in refined carbs, your blood sugar could be spiking and crashing throughout the night, triggering stress hormones that wake you up. The fix? A protein-rich meal before bed, something like Greek yogurt with almonds, or even a small piece of cheese, can provide slow-digesting protein that keeps blood sugar stable. And if you find yourself waking up groggy, the culprit might be caffeine. Even if you stop drinking coffee in the afternoon, caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours, meaning if you have a cup at 3 p.m., half of that caffeine is still in your system at 9 p.m. Cutting caffeine after noon can make a huge difference in your sleep depth. So, let's put this all together. If your performance has been slipping, if you've been feeling off, now you know why. And more importantly, now you know how to fix it. Improve your sleep, optimize your diet, manage stress, and move your body. These aren't just small tweaks. They're life-changing shifts that will transform the way you feel, think, and perform. Do you feel like you're losing yourself? That fire, strength, and confidence you used to have? It's fading, and no one's talking about why. Hormonal decline is real, and it's stealing your energy, performance, and even your relationships. But you don't have to let it. There's a proven way to restore your vitality and become the man you used to be, or even better. The solution is in the pinned comment. Don't settle for less when you can have it all. But here's the deal. Knowing this information is one thing. Applying it is what matters. So I want you to pick just one thing from this video and start today. Maybe it's fixing your sleep. Maybe it's cutting out processed food. Maybe it's getting more sunlight in the morning. Whatever it is, take action now. Because the men who see real results, they don't wait. They take control. And if you're ready for more, make sure to check out the next video on your screen now, because we're going even deeper.